everybody. Welcome to the channel. Thank you for all those coming here today, and thank you all those who come check out the channel on YouTube. We are for those who are here new here. We are, or this is the about to say Grumpy Bear Bear Thoughts podcast. We stream every Wednesday at 5 p.m. Central PM time. So if you want to check us out live at twitch.tv/twitch.tv/ Bear Thought. Until I get the S at the end of there, come check us out. I would love to see you here. Love to see you in the chat. Get to know you a little bit. I'm sure, as everybody should know by now, if you don't, we got Corvo Ninja with us today. How you doing today, sir?
I'm doing all right, Grubby.
All right. So, just a quick little thing going on for those who are watching here and those who are catching this. We may be streaming this on YouTube within the next couple weeks just to see how it, get the feel of it, see how it goes on there. So if you're here on Twitch or you're catching this video on YouTube and you're normally catching this on Twitch, you might be seeing this on YouTube and going live on there and just to see how it goes. So be sure to come over there and check it out with us as well for our usuals that come in and watch this. And again, for those who are, let's say, on the podcast channel that I got going on, or on BitChute or any other like 4 other websites that I'm trying to broadcast this on. Like I have this on 2 different podcast channels now. Lord Pestilence found me one called Podbean. Podbean. I don't know if everybody knows what Podbean is. If you're catching this in an MP3 version, it might be you. Thank you for listening. Trying it out in there and try to see if we can get maybe some viewers on there, but the problem is I can only upload every so often. So that's kind of a problem because I'm not able to upload all of it. Have you ever worked on the thumbnail? You said last week you might work on a thumbnail. Do you ever work on a thumbnail? Like any thumbnail? Just for bullshits?
Yeah, I started working on one, but I didn't get done with it. I only got like part of the side that you were on done.
Yeah.
I didn't get to my side yet. Life.
Yeah, busy kids playing Pokemon Sword and Shield. Well, you got okay. Which Pokemon you got? You said you got Pokemon Sword.
So I got Pokemon Sword.
Okay.
And then I've got Let's Go Pikachu.
Okay, so you got the Pikachu one. So if for whatever reason she can't get what she wants from me, she can get it from you most likely.
Yeah, more than likely.
Because Stealthy has a game as well. Stealthy, if you hear, hi. And of course she has Shield and she has Eevee. So, I'm hoping to someday to be able to get me another Nintendo Switch, primarily for my wife, and then me have the Nintendo Switch, and then I can, have it in here when I want to play it. She's been playing Breath of the Wild. I'm thinking about getting her sometime when I can afford it, getting her the Breath of the Wild expansion. Have you played the expansion before? I'm sure you have. I've seen your wife play one part of it.
Yeah. Both me and Stealthy have played part of the expansion. So, yeah, I didn't realize, now that you speak about expansions, I didn't realize there was an expansion pack for Sword until I popped it in and started playing.
Oh, yeah, there's like a new island. But, of course, do you have to pay for that? Or is it just, does it automatically start installing?
I had to do an install when I first put it in there, but I don't know if the install was for the expansion or if I have to actually click yes to the expansion. I haven't tried it yet.
Okay, well, you found out, let me know. I did get for Nintendo Switch, I got the old school. I bought this because it was on sale, and Lord Pestilence, for those who know my channel, gave me some money for Nintendo Switch. And I bought the Star Wars Pod Racer game, the first one for 64 on Nintendo Switch. And I always loved that game. I don't know why. It's Star Wars, yeah, but the Pod Racer games to me were always fun. Kind of like that other racing game, Force X or something like that. I don't know if you know what I'm talking about here. Where you
I haven't played that one.
Where you play a Falcon Punch guy from Smash Brothers. He's in that game. Anyways, I always liked racing games on 64 games. On 64. I don't know why. It's just racing games on there will always have have something unique about them where they drove me in. But nowadays, most racing games are just here's a car, soup it up, go drive it. Like there's no pizzazz behind it. That's what I like by
Right.
64 games. Like they always have a little
Right.
something about it that made it challenging and yet interesting and fun. Nowadays, just cars. All
Yeah,
right.
they started moving away from doing the fantastical, ooh, this is a special, really nice thing to let's make it as real as possible.
Yeah. It's like instead of futuristic and almost sci-fi or fantasy, we're just gonna go to realistic and maybe throw some, let's say, steampunk in it. Because
Yeah,
everybody's
I
talking
mean,
about that right now.
look, I'm okay with some realistic racing because I used to do some of that in real life, but when I play a video game, I'm trying to escape reality,
Yeah.
not stay with it. Because I mean, shit,
I
then I
didn't
might as well not play.
I didn't practice my real life racing on a controller. So when I got to the real car and go do it, I'll be just like it. Uh-uh.
Nah, it
Pedals,
don't work.
wheels, there's a lot of stuff going on, and you can't buy the cheap pedals. You want the guys with the video game. You know, there's some pretty realistic those out there. Steering wheels, like even when you turn and you're bumping over something, it will fight you from turning it, and like
Yeah.
it will keep you from doing it, and the pedal is supposed to feel like real pedals, and like that stuff is cool, and some of them like bump around and move a little bit. That's all nice and dandy, but like, who wants to put that kind of money into something like that unless you're rich?
Yeah.
Maybe then, but otherwise, we normal Joes are trying to escape reality and play something a little bit out of our usual range of possibilities in our lifetime because we
I mean, if I wanted to play video games that were close to life, I would have one called Cubicle Hell. You know, where the best thing for you is to sit there, shut up, and do your job, even if it doesn't make any fucking sense.
You just be doing along, doing your business. Someone come over, peeking over your cubicle, going, "Hey, what are you doing? I'm bored."
That would be that would be it. That would be it right there. The skill that he would be using would be called prairie dogging. Prairie dogging at the cubicle.
I need to take a shit. Get out of my cubicle, fucker. God dang it. I'm over here taking a nice little nap. You're over here telling me about your wet dreams. I don't care. Um I don't know.
uh,
So okay, you were telling me because earlier we normally talk before we go live here. For those who do not know, we normally talk and chit chat a little bit, and me and my wife were making little jokes, and we were talking to each other, and the whole occasional mansplaining, as some people innately call it, or man talking, or closet, or not closet, gym room closet talking. I forget what it's called. Um, you apparently had something like that at your job the other day with one of your new employees. Is he
no, no. This actually literally happened today.
today?
We were
Okay.
yeah, I went outside for my break like I normally do. And we'll say coworker number one
Good
happened to
name.
be out there. He's not normally out there when the rest of us are, but
Is
he
this a
was. And
smoking spot?
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
So we're sitting there, and I walk up to them because they're already there before I get there, and I noticed that he is on. He is on it, messing with coworker number two.
Uh huh.
Now the thing you have to understand about coworker number two is he can be a little sensitive.
Okay.
So he's the fun one to mess with.
Oh,
So we're
careful with
all
that.
sitting there. We're all sitting there, and coworker number one goes, "Hey, wait a minute! I just realized something. You're the only person out here that's not married."
Mm-hmm. Poor
Coworker
guy.
number two goes. Coworker number two looks at him and says, "Yeah, I've had a lot of relationship problems." So coworker number one says, "So, you been dating anybody? Women, men?" And he's like, "Women, butthole, women." He's like, "So, he starts asking him, he's like, what kind of women are you into?" And you can see coworker number two trying to figure out, is this dude messing with me, or where are we going with this? He starts banging out questions like, what kind of things do they need to have? and the coworker number two is like, well, it would be nice if they had either a job, or if they didn't have a job, they were okay with taking care of the house.
2 arms, 2 legs, and
and then he looks at me and says, okay, so what do they gotta look like? And he's like, well, I don't want like a beanpole, but I don't want like a beluga whale. he's like
somewhere between.
So coworker number one says, so let me get this straight. Job or keep up the house, and she has to be decent looking. And coworker number two is like, yeah. He's like, so why haven't you found one of those? Because they're all over the freaking place. He's like, well, I think it's because I'm super picky. Guys,
you
like,
just gave him a bunch of descriptions, and you just gave him vague realities.
Yeah, and coworker number one looks at him and goes, you really aren't that picky. He said, I asked you some very straightforward questions, and you've given me really vague answers. And they go on back and forth about this, back and forth. And I'm starting to feel sorry for coworker number two, because coworker number one is hammering him with these questions, and you can tell it's starting to mess with him. So I go, yeah, you definitely should listen to coworker number one. How many times is this now, coworker number one? And he goes, oh, shit, somebody pull the knife out of my back. Because he's been married like 3 times, you know? And I'm like, yeah, definitely listen to coworker number one, because if anybody knows about marriage,
that's my dad. He's been married 5 times.
So he turns around and looks at me. He says, "You're a sneaky asshole. I seen you come up behind me, but I did not realize you were wielding the blade of doom."
Of shame. Now, slice the throat.
All this is going on, and across the table, there's this coworker number 3 is sitting there. Dude, he is turning red. Tears are running from his eyes. He is almost hyperventilating.
Ow, that's not good.
And I'm like, guys, we need to stop this whole line. They're like, why? It's kind of funny. I'm like, look at coworker number 3. And he's like, everybody's like, are you okay? And all he can do is, okay.
I'm gonna die.
I'm gonna die. And then,
oh, good gracious.
The funniest question of all, he's like, so, are you experienced, or are you kind of not experienced? I mean, like, how many women have you dated?
Enough, fucker, enough.
And the guy looks at him and goes, well, wouldn't say I'm like the most experienced in the world, but I'm definitely not a newbie. And he's like, so that doesn't help me. I'm trying to hook you up, brother. I mean, I need to know what kind of gauge of women to look at, because I don't want to take someone. He's like, I don't want to take like someone that's newbie and sticking with like this hoochie mama, because then you're gonna fall in love anyway, because she gonna show you stuff you ain't ever seen before. And she might
talk like he's a virgin.
Yeah. He's like, but if you super experienced, I don't want to give some girl that ain't never really had nothing with you either, because then she gonna fall in love with you and you're gonna be in the same boat. And he said, I want to put you in the right experience range. Man, by the time we left, people were crying, laughing. The only lady out there at the table said the only question I was waiting for him to do is just ask him straight up, have you ever slept with a woman before? I mean, it was just back to back to back.
Poor guy. Sounded like he was being drilled.
But the funny thing is he's a good sport about it, because at the end of it, he's like, I realized about halfway through it that what you were doing was just messing with me, and we were trying to get something funny going.
Yeah.
He said, so I started giving you really off-the-wall freaking answers, and you were just playing off of it. And he said, coworker number 1 turns around and looks at me and says, yeah, I was feeling pretty good about myself until I got this big gaping wound in my back.
You were just adding into the flavor, adding to the
No, I mean, it was kind of like coworker number 2 was like in this fight with one hand behind his back, because he don't know much about coworker number 1. But I know a lot.
You know enough.
I was like, let me even the playing field here.
Oh, goodness gracious. Well, I'm glad that y'all have that kind of conversing. My old job, we used to have to go outside. outside the building, and I didn't sit inside with all the old folks inside the cafeteria that we had near us. Cafeteria room, more like just a room to sit down and eat. Because that's where all the old folks were at. And I was like, I want to say with the young folks, but all of them smoked. So like I was out there with them trying to, trying to die from all the cigarette smoke. I'm not a big fan of it, but I stayed around them anyways. And we had so many girls, and we had just one guy, one very nice gentleman, 6'3". He had to be around close to 300 pounds, though. Big guy, young kid, though. He was like a couple years younger than me, maybe like 8 or 9. And he always had the girls all over him. And oh my God, this dude, not a goofy looking motherfucker, but he had the charm and the wit about him. But we had moments like that before, but never to the extent where we were picking on anybody. Nobody was there was like really ever sensitive. And the only thing that was ever really a problem is just constantly the girls that would come out and hit on him while we're all standing there like we chop liver or something. What the fuck, dude? Like, come on, give it to the other guys some chances here. And every girl, I mean, it was almost like repeating. Every girl wanted this dude's cock, and I was like, God dang it, for tall people. That's why I always tell anime, tall people get girls more than you think they do. You just gotta have you have the confidence, you have to have the charisma, and of course you get to have the height, because girls love tall dudes. And this dude wasn't like no 10 out of 10. This dude was like if I would go from a man for another man, I wouldn't try to. We can clearly see you, honey. You're not hiding anything. But like we're trying to give a man a score here from another man. I'd give him like a 7, right? Not gonna give him a high number, but he was like a 7. But girls thought he was a 10. They loved him, and he was also one of our drivers for the lifts. Something I would never do, though I did drive the little mini version of them. I don't know if you've seen lifts before, the forklifts. There's the long, big ones with the big old engines on it, and there was the electric ones about like a little cubicle. And I would drive that thing around. I love that little thing. The fucking thing was fast for a little cube. And you just drive around with forks. You need to drive. The forks will be behind you while you're driving forward, and then you drive. I got good at it. I got everything in that facility. I did every single job there, other than supervise or be the group lead. I did every job on that floor. I loved it. And then I got sick.
Yeah, we have a lot of forklifts at the plant. I mean, we wouldn't be able to move around the sheet metal and stuff if we didn't.
Okay. Do y'all actually bend the metal there, or y'all just
Oh yeah, yeah.
So you have soft tool operators.
Yeah. So when we get the plate in, it comes in flat, untouched. Yeah. When it goes out, it's the end product.
I don't know if you probably can't see that, but I cut myself right here on one of those sheet of metal. I mean, real good. And I covered it up and bedded and got home, put some butterflies on it, and it scarred up real good. Scarred up real good. I was had my sleeve, it got snagged on something, and pulled my sleeve down, and the metal, but I didn't notice it. I didn't notice it at all until I felt something wet going down my arm.
Yeah, we have
that clean.
We have like 1/2 inch and 5/8 plate steel coming in.
Mm-hmm.
And we have a hydraulic roller that rolls it into a round tube shape. And then we have welders, plasma cutters.
So I was told we used to have something like that, but eventually they got rid of them because there was too much of a hassle trying to unroll those sheets of metal to get them flat, then get them to us rather than just order them pre-cut already and just pre-flattened for us. Apparently it was cheaper and easier for us to just pre-order them already done than have it in-house.
See, ours comes in at like a 1/2 inch or 5/8 thick flat steel, and we put them in the press and roll them into a round cylinder.
Okay.
And then weld the seam, so we basically make a cylinder out of it.
Mm-hmm.
And then it moves down through the plant, getting whatever else it needs to make. Yeah.
Your product. Wow, that's pretty interesting. I didn't know you is it a factory like place? Because you say you work in the cubicle section. So
I do. So our corporate office is also attached to our manufacturing facility for this town.
Okay, gotcha.
So it's all one thing. You literally walk out of the corporate office onto the back dock into the plant.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And Yeah, we make everything from it comes in, like I said, just straight flat steel, goes out the door as the product.
Like we had this one bit of metal that everybody hated. I mean, everybody hated it. If I would say, I'm not exaggerating here. I'm trying to find something. Yeah, that's about it, right? It's you could probably think like 3/4 thick. It was the
Yeah.
heaviest piece of metal, and it came in probably by sheets of just by sheets by itself. I would say 35 by 15 sheets of metal. And this shit was so heavy. It literally took
Yeah.
like two people to drag this thing onto the machine to cut holes into it a lot of the times if it was the big sheets of it. If it was the small sheets of it, it wouldn't be that bad. And then cut the holes, and then when you get them to the breakers, I mean, it took knees, it took elbows, it took all your strength to get this damn thing. Everybody, anytime that job was in, everybody was trying to make sure they didn't get that job. They stayed as busy as they could, as long as they could, like whatever they could do to make sure that they didn't finish their job because they knew if they finished that job before that job was coming to be available to start bidding, they would go hide and hope someone else finished their job so they'll be stuck doing it. And a lot of times I was stuck doing it. Why? I didn't care. I didn't. I'm just like, yeah, it's an annoying job. Yeah, it's a hard job. More than likely, if I didn't do it, someone's gonna fuck up on it. So I would have to fix, excuse my language, but I would have to fix their screw up. And I didn't want to fix their screw up at all.
Right.
I did
Right.
not want to be that guy. It's like, nope, I'm just gonna do it. So when I know it's done, it's gonna be done right, and I don't have to worry about it later on. Because I can't tell you how many times
Right.
I'd be in my middle of my job, having a good restful day, and then somebody come pulling up with a big old rack of parts of this bent metal, not the same one, but other metals, and that one including, and going, yeah, all these are wrong. Can y'all fix them? And my group leader will look at me and go, he called me Shamrock. Okay, he called me Shamrock. I have a red beard. He called me Shamrock. That's their thing. And you would say, Shamrock. I'm like, what? Can you fix it? Yeah. I don't want to, though. Thanks. Fuck you. We had that kind of relationship. Like, we had that kind of
Yeah.
he knew I wasn't like, yay, I get to fix everybody else's shit. I was like,
Yeah.
I was doing one of the most comfortable jobs, sitting down in a chair for once, doing it nice and happy, having a good day, and this shows up. Who else is gonna fix
Yeah.
it? Even the older
Yep.
people that have been there for their years longer than I have was going, I ain't fixing it. And my boss like, yeah, you're gonna fix it, you're gonna fuck it up too. Or they'd be the one that did fuck it up, and I would be able to fix it. I trained pretty much
Yeah.
everybody on the floor. They didn't get trainer pay. No trainer pay. I got no trainer pay. And I trained everybody that was there. Even people that were older than me had to do some new parts. I had to train them. Oh my God, think about that job sometimes. Just the reason why I want to stay a streamer.
Yeah. Let me put it like this. Our sheets of steel
uh,
come in and it's more like 15 feet by 35 feet by half inch to 5/8 thick, straight freaking steel.
well, yeah,
So
we had that too,
yeah,
but that goes to the mods. I was on the soft tools. When I got to the mods, I was dealing with those pieces later on.
yeah, we have like 10-ton cranes in the ceiling of our facility to move those sheets.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
I wish we had
We
that.
Yeah, you walk out there, you see the steel, you let the crane down, and they've got some there's like a specialty locking type tool that you could put on a flat surface, kind of like a sandwich, like this,
Yeah.
that lock down to a certain degree, that have little hooks on it,
Mhm.
and you put those on your steel, and then you hook your hooks in it, and you just press the button, and it goes up, and you walk down the side of the path, controlling the crane over to the plasma, and you let it down, unhook everything, and somebody sends the program out there to the plasma, and the plasma just starts going out there and cutting the holes and all that good stuff, and getting it all right. Then the same guy comes back over, hooks back up to it, picks it back up, takes it over to the roller. They get it fed into the roller. The guy running the roller starts running it, and it slowly bends it into a cylinder. Then the cylinder gets picked up and moved, and somebody welds it. You know,
We had to wait. We had to wait for forklifts for everything. Like, I mean, everything. Forklift driver. And it got to a point where I was like, just teach me how to drive a forklift. I'll go get it my damn self. That's how it ended up to me. It's like, we didn't have, like, go get your own metal. All right. And then, like you said, just, there we go. Just drag it over to myself with the
all
forklift.
sound grumpy.
Lost sound? Okay, I thought so. Okay, that might be that's on Discord side. So give me a moment. They can still hear me, but you can't. Oh well. Anyways, so yeah, I learned to drive the forklift, and I was very good. One day we had a chemical breakout. This is where I think my asthma came in about, and my mom still thinks I should have sued back then. And I probably should have. I just didn't want to go through all the hassle, and I didn't really know if I had a really good, strong case. A chemical broke out in our factory, and they swore and they promised everybody that it wouldn't harm us, wouldn't do anything to us, wouldn't affect us anyway. It would just smell bad for a couple of days in here. They had a little chemical leak in one of the areas, and I didn't think nothing of it. But it was within the week or so later that I had my first asthma attack at work. And I never had asthma a day in my life. And I had to go on PTO time or pay without leave or whatever that little thing for sickness. And I was gone. Hey, thank you for the raise there, Sneaky. And I got paid for gone, and after a while I started feeling better, so I came back to work, and after a couple weeks, then I had another asthma attack. And it, like, for some reason, when I had the attack, I for the next couple of days, I just couldn't breathe. My lungs were hurting me. I couldn't breathe. I was gasping for air. That's how I was working. I was trying to get my air back, and I went back on PTO again. And they were telling me, like, yeah, now you need to go to your doctor every week and get a note from them every week, and then tell us about it every week and keep us informed every week. I'm like, I am telling you, but I'm not going to go spend my money every week for the doctor to tell me I can't go in, because my doctor told me, do not go back in until you feel better. Do not. She told me straight up, I'm telling you in the paperwork, do not go in. You're not allowed to go into work until you can feel better and you start being able to breathe again. And that's what I told my work. And I go back to work, and after I started feeling better, like, yeah, you're fired. I'm like, what? It's like, yeah, you didn't tell us every week. I told you what was going on. My doctor told me, do not go in until I start feeling better, till I can start breathing again. I'm on PTO. I'm on PTO. It's like, yeah, the PTO, this one, you have to make sure you tell us every week. I'm like, I don't see that on the paperwork. So they let me go, pretty much firing. They said you had to let you go, but that's pretty much in my case, firing me. So that's what happened to me, all because I couldn't breathe. I absolutely, that was one of my best paying jobs though, ever. And probably one of my longest working jobs I've ever did. And I did take some pride in it. You know, I'm pretty sure everybody takes pride in their work. And like, I take pride in this, what I do right here. That's why I work my ass off in this business, we might want to call it. And speaking of this business, okay, Chad, let me show y'all something here. I talked about this earlier on, and you, of course, you have my stream pulled up. You'll be able to see it in a second here. I got this email, and this pissed me off, okay? This pissed me off some kind of hard. I got an email in one of my personal email addresses, not a business email, personal email from Twitch. Let me show y'all what I'm seeing here. If I could just bring it up on my side, I'll try to do that. Okay, here we go. I think it's on just on my side. Might cover up your little. No, there we go. Okay, here we go. This is an email I got from Twitch promoting some of the biggest names on Twitch. And one of the most popular streamers right now is Shroud. How many people here know who Shroud is? I'm pretty sure the majority of us know who fuck Shroud is. One of the biggest names on Twitch. Not the biggest, mind you, but one of the biggest and one of the longest time ago. So they got an email coming to me broadcasting one of the biggest names. Now we go down here to the Discover Your Next community. Look at this community section, how small it is. 1, 2, 3, 4 names. 4 names. You can't see me. I'm pointing up 4 with my hand right here. 4 names. And only one of them has a single viewer in it. All the rest of them are well over partner leveled. I'm pretty sure all of them are partnered, but the one person. Why do they need endorsements? I'm thinking, good on the girl. 237 viewers. Good on her. But the other people don't need it. I'm sorry. They're doing great. They don't need it at all, in my opinion. Don't need it. But then it goes even further. It's not one just smack in the face. Let's go down to the most popular streamers again right now. SQZ, Asmon Gold, Nick Merce, and Philly Z. I don't know what the hell that is, actually. Do they need endorsements? You can't see it. But do they need endorsements? I fucking think not. They don't need endorsements at all. Yet I'm getting emails endorsing channels that's already all the fuck over Twitch. And that's it. Like, why am I getting these emails? I should be seeing emails. I was talking to Kovo here, or Kovo earlier. They should have emails going like, appreciation small streamer emails, where they send out periodically small streamers. I'm not saying myself, that would be appreciated, but it's small streamers that are not partnered, and giving them a little appreciation every week or so about emails going, hey, check out this new community. You might like it. On games that you might like, or people that you might enjoy. But rather than do that, they're going to show people that already have partnered, show people that are already well endowed in Twitch, and then showing big old, boo, here's Shroud. I'm fucking sorry. I don't think Shroud needs his help. He's already a fucking multi-millionaire. Get that shit out of here. So I saw that the other day, and I got pissed off about it, because I don't want to see that. I don't want to see that at all. Like, don't show me that stuff. And I don't think that's right. Put your thoughts in there, Kovo, because I can go off hours for this.
So it's basically like I tried to tell you when we had a small conversation earlier. In my opinion, they make their money off of people buying in on the biddies, the bits, and all that good stuff. And all that happens more with the people that have the biggest fan base. So they're putting it out there, trying to get these people to follow the pack, to quote your term. And if 200 and some odd people are donating, then the next 5 people that come in see it and they see that they're donating, why wouldn't they why wouldn't they buy it? They're making their money on the back end, and that's what they're using it for.
Yeah, it's not right to my perspective. Like I said, of course, we had the conversation beforehand. I went on a little rant. I think they should allow for small streamers to be put in more of the limelight, because it can get more people into their lighter, more group, new faces, new ideas, new people will bring in new viewers, in my opinion, and also largen their wallets in doing so, because those people will end up subscribing, instead of to the 2 or 3 top channels. They can subscribe to 5 or 8 or 10 or 12 maybe top channels, or give bits more periodically through everybody, not just one person. But they're putting all their chips into one basket and leaving us in the dirt. I think Twitch doesn't want people to succeed. Even so far, for those who don't know, Monster Cat, you go subscribe to them, you can immediately get affiliate. How long did it take a Stout to get affiliate?
It took her a while. It took her quite a while.
It took me quite a while.
Like, she streamed. She actually, to get her affiliate, went out and checked to see what people were watching the most, because she was getting frustrated, and started playing what people were watching the most, which happened to be Final Fantasy games at the time, and streamed like 3 different Final Fantasy games back to back completion before she got enough viewers in there to get her affiliate.
And that's ridiculous. And of course, if you go to Twitch channels right now, the front page, the first thing you very much see is biggest streamers, again, get endorsements, up a little scrolling bar thing at the top, biggest streamers. You may see 1 or 2 small streamers in there. Small. I'm not trying to say anything negative here, but I'm going to put this out there, because it's not like I'm bashing them, but a lot of them are very attractive women. Just saying. Hate me on that one, but a lot of them are attractive women.
It's like I said earlier, I don't have a problem with them picking 1 or 2 of their top people and putting them in there, but there should also be slots for people that are unknowns in that exact same email. I
Yeah.
mean, it's okay for you to try to keep your money coming in, but while you're doing that, let's try to make more money at the same time.
Or bring new people
Hey,
into it.
say, hey, I know you guys have been watching these top two, streamers. They're still here, but check your community below because, hey, all these people, they haven't even made affiliate yet, but they're there and they're doing their best. Check them out. Maybe you'll like them. It's not hard to spread the love evenly unless you're just scared your wallet can't take it.
Well, they try to sell people like gift cards for Twitch, so that's they're desperate for people to buy bits and buy subscriptions on Twitch for some reason. And then of course the whole like another YouTuber out there put out there, good idea, really. I still think it's a good idea. Think of clips like TikTok, but just all you gotta do is make it just like the front page, a bunch of clips, right? The different channels, small channels, big channels, and put commercials on it. They're small, they're quick, make them like a 30-second commercial, if that, and then get to the clip. And then they can go like TikTok, they can go through 10 or 15 clips within an hour or maybe less. They're doing a lot, so they can discover new channels quickly instead of like constantly just seeing streamings, full length live streamings right now. Get people seeing people's clips, like some of my old clips. Get them seeing those. When people see those, they go, oh, I like what he's putting out there. Yeah, there was a commercial on it. That kind of sucks. Commercials normally do shy away some people. But if people see my clips and they might want to go check out my channel, I thought it was a great idea.
But and here's the thing about the commercials. You get kickbacks off those commercials being viewed too.
Yeah, not the beginning commercial, though. Not the first commercial. When the person comes into the channel, they don't get nothing for that. Nothing.
Really?
Yeah. Only commercial you get is if you do a commercial during your stream. Let's say I go take a piss right now, and I hit the go commercial button right now. I get a penny per viewer.
And I no. I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about
Twitch?
Twitch in and of itself.
Twitch always get the money.
That's what I'm saying. If they're worried about their money, put the commercial in there, like you said. They're going to get a kickback off the commercial being there anyway. So what have you lost? You hadn't lost shit. Nothing.
Nothing not to be gained, nothing not to be lost. Only thing you got to do is just change some of the UI. And I think some of the big viewers, the big streamers don't want people to have that easy discoverability because why they got to worry about it? They already have the big, they're big everywhere. They're big on YouTube. They're big on Twitch. They don't need it, and of course they don't need no more competition. I think competition.
Yeah, that's what it is. It's the competition. They're fearful that giant wad of cash that's flowing into them is going to get a little smaller.
A little smaller. They're already millionaires. Who cares? You lose maybe $1,000 a year. Whoop-de-down,
dude, it's the freaking human condition.
I know.
They want money, and they want as much as they can get. It's like I told Stealthy one time. I was like, it's like playing the lottery.
Yeah, it is.
If I went out and picked the lottery number and I won, let's say $40 million, because I always do cash options, so half of that shit they can keep. I don't care. Mm-hmm. But let's say I win that much money. Do you think I give a rat's ass about the next dude and what he's going to try to take from me? Dude, at that point, I'm not working anywhere to do anything that I don't want to do. I would have the most badass streaming setup that you could believe. Hell, you'd probably get a mail order stream room just as a gift. You'd be like, why is this damn truck pulling up at my house? And they're like, okay, everything you got in your stream room, throw that shit out the window. Everything's new now. Here you go. Because, I'm that kind of person.
Yeah, but the big people do that to their friends in ways, too. Like, Tina Tatman was talking about the other day about giving one of his friends as a joke, like someday, like, you imagine we'd be so rich that we go to your friend and go, here's your new Lambo, because you're my friend. Like, just giving it to your friend because you're that rich. That's not that. They think the same way, but the problem is they only think about their friends giving them something glorious when they could really just do something really just nice that's totally free and just give a small guy their viewers. Even
right.
And all of them leaves, at least the idea is nice.
Here's the biggest difference, though, in what I said and what they did.
Mm,
How many of them are already living outside that $1 million means because they have the $1 million, so they must be good for it, right?
yeah,
I'm not that kind of person. I could have $40 million and live in a freaking double wide in a trailer park and be happy.
true.
I'm not that kind of person.
Even my wife was saying that we would like to have, if we were ever multi-million dollars, we would want to have a small little house, maybe like a 2 or 3 bedroom, all on the ground. When you come up to it, it looks plain. It looks like it's home. Almost like somebody's living there, renting the house out. Nothing fancy. Only thing I want is a basement. That's all I want.
Yeah.
I don't want
Yeah.
no.
A
I don't want no
basement.
bowling out would be cool, but I don't want no bowling out. I don't want no arcade. I don't want no 10 car garage. I don't want no swimming pool. I don't want none of that. I just want a basic, almost basic house, and just give me a basement. And that's all I really want with my stream in it. And that would be us as millionaires. We'd be
That
happy.
yeah, and that's how I would be. Except for the difference in me and you is my basement would be my print room. You
Yeah.
know, I'd have my stream. I'd have my little stream set up to stream my prints as they ran, and I'd be good. I'm happy.
Dreams, man.
You know, like I told Stealthy, I was like, half the money that I would get, I have planned to help other people anyway.
Yeah, no fantasy cars for me. Still, they're anime. I'm not a big car person. Like I would be happy with my truck, as long as my truck
No,
drived.
he don't want a car. He just wants that computer I built for the doctor one time.
Oh yeah, I just want a badass computer. That's all I really want. Badass computer, and
Did I
maybe
tell you about that?
no.
Oh man, I have to tell you that story.
Okay, well,
So back when I was first starting in IT,
okay.
I was doing a little IT work on the down low at home, right?
Mm-hmm.
And a cousin of mine was dating a young lady whose father happened to be a doctor, and he was big into video gaming.
Wait. Quick question to you. This may sound like a little shallow. Were you single, and was she single?
I was single. She was dating my cousin.
Shit. Like you, you didn't pounce on that at least one time.
Nah, no, no. He came to me. My cousin actually came to me and said, "Hey, look, such and such. Her dad is big into gaming, and he wants a really nice computer."
I thought it'd be one of the situations where like, hey, I'm messing with your daughter. You want me to do you a favor, daddy-in-law? Like I thought it'd be one of those
So,
situations like,
so
hey,
I'm thinking, like gaming desktop.
yeah,
No, dude, he had some very specific stuff. So he had an entire room in his house. It
entire
was
room.
empty. And then no, an entire room. Like a
Must be
whole room
nice.
that was just empty.
Hmm.
And he takes me in there, he says, "Okay, this is where I want my video game room."
Room.
So
So
I'm looking around in here, I'm like, "Well, there's no shelves, there's no furniture, there's nothing. It's literally four walls with outlets and stuff. That's it." And then I noticed there is one thing in this room.
uh-huh.
In the wall was a wine chiller.
In the
You know
wall.
those
Embedded?
yeah. You know how they have the wine fridges
Yeah.
that rich people have wine in there. This thing was
Rich people.
this thing was built into the wall.
Okay.
He told me, he said, "Yeah, back when I was younger, I was big into wine, and this used to be my wine room. Now it's just I want it to be my game room. I don't really care about that."
Mm-hmm.
So my head goes to turning, and I'm trying to figure out what I'm gonna do. And I'm like, "Look, some of the ideas I have, I would need to have like a contractor come in to help me."
Yeah.
And he's like, "You do whatever you need to do. You just write up the bill when you're done."
Just that like, he was just that confident in his cash flow to be like, hey, your imagination, be my
Look,
guest. Be my guest.
look, dude. We talking 6 digits a year.
A year? Okay. How long has he be saving for? Because even 6 digits might like I could go over 6 digits my fancy room.
He's been a doctor for 23 years.
His bed cam must be fat. $1 million. Mm.
Yeah. No, he has way more than that. I mean, when I say 6 digits, he probably clears like $780,000 a year after taxes.
After taxes. And then when he gets his tax return, because most people know how to dodge that shit.
So every 2 years, he's probably pulling in over $2 million. So he was by far, this wasn't a really extravagant house. He was by far one of the more modest in what he owned type of people, but he had a crap ton of money.
Yeah. And he's like, let's spin it.
Yeah, so I spent it too, dude. I ain't gonna lie. When I got through with that room, it was like a $350,000 room.
And that's okay. Was that including the labor, or was that just including the materials?
That was the materials. That wasn't the labor.
Okay. Let's say I'm thinking about the labor. That would be a little higher than that.
Yeah. So what we ended up doing is I turned his wine chiller into his computer.
Okay, I have seen refrigerator computers before. They're just not very well. They don't run as clean as like you may need them, because like you have to worry about the moisture buildup inside of it and sealing correctly, and
not with a wine chiller. The wine chiller is specifically built to keep the air dry and cold.
Oh yeah, true, because wine needs to be dry
for wine.
areas.
Right. So I had the contractor run cables from the chiller in the wall through the wall to the big open wall that he wanted his visual display to be on.
Well, nowadays that visual display can actually be a monitor that's so big you could practically call it a TV.
Well, he ended up with 465-inch monitors that were networked together with no bezel.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but
so he ended up.
Like, how long ago was this?
This was maybe 5 or 6 years ago.
Okay, then like I said, like the monitor TVs I'm talking about have came out within like this last year or two or so, and they're like 144 hertz, 200 hertz monitors that are size of TVs that are 65, 75 size.
Right. But see, even back, I don't know if you know this, but 8 or 9 years ago, they had the ability to build these thin televisions and monitors with no bezels. They just cost thousands of dollars to have one built.
I think he had
4 65-inch thin mounted bezel-less televisions turned into a single monitor on a wall for a whopping 135 inches of monitor.
So like zero bezels. So you could not see any lines between.
No bezels. No bezels when you're looking at the center. The only bezels were the outside, because the way they build them is if you get with the right company, there has to be some bezel on there to hold it.
Yeah.
But it doesn't have to be all the way around it. So like even at work, we're fixing to do the same thing at work for our training room. On the bottom, on 3 sides of every one of them, there was no bezel.
Okay, so it had to been custom in some sense, because it has to be left to top and left, and then left and bottom, and then left and right.
No. When I'm saying 3 sides of the screens had no bezels. There was only a bezel at the bottom of every screen.
Okay, so did you overlap them?
No, we flipped 2 of them upside down and let it meet.
And reversed. Yeah, gotcha. Okay.
Right, yeah, so he had 135 inches there. He had the computer built into the cooler.
Yeah.
And then the cables for his mouse, joystick, keyboard, everything else were routed under the floor to a chair that we custom designed and had a guy build that
Mm,
allowed the keyboard to do this split so you could sit down and flop back down.
yeah.
Had on the right and left of the chair arms had spaces for the joystick and the mouse.
Yeah.
His chair had built-in speakers for sound and an aux cord in case he was on a stream and he wanted to keep it between him and the stream.
Yeah.
Had all that stuff was built into this room. So when the room was finished, when you walked in, literally when you first walked in, all you seen was a chair and a big ass screen. You're like, what the hell is this room for? Like torture, like mind control, brainwashing. What the hell am I
Subliminal
walking
messages. Stand in
Hey,
front of
look,
here. Sit right here, buddy.
into?
Yeah.
You go in there, you sit down in a chair, you flip your keyboard down. The power button is run to a power button on the chair for
So
the
there was nowhere
computer.
other place for anybody else to sit down, just him?
That's it.
Damn.
Nobody
Like,
else
hey,
would-
you want to come out and see my room? Oh, sit on the ground. Yeah. This is my chair. Yeah.
No, dude. People didn't go in this room.
Oh, so it was okay. It's
He
like a private
locked.
chamber.
Yeah. It was like his personal space Zen garden type place. You don't go in there.
His personal time, where he's, I guess you could say his lonely time, must have been very interesting.
Dude, the first time I ever seen anybody play Fear was on that screen in that room. Can you imagine her come crawling at you on that size screen?
Well, I don't know if your brain would establish the scope of that image to being realistic because it's so vastly large. Like, I don't know how, like, if your brain would like realize that you're looking at something that's like practically a giant and it's on the screen.
It freaked me out. I ain't gonna lie. Because when it gets close and there's an evil looking deadly face the size of, what God's face might appear to you, you might need to check your shorts.
I'm just kind of curious, like, how did they, like, I know there's no bezels, but I can't help but feel like there would still be somewhat like a little tiny black gap right between each monitor. And there's 4 of them. All you can see is this big old X, or not this big old X, but this little tiny small X right in the middle of the screen the entire time. My brain would just be like, I see it.
When we get the one at work set up, I'll take pictures of it and show it to you.
Mm-hmm.
But when they're bezel-less like that, you can literally put them on mounts to where they're sitting and touching. You don't see a line.
I had to see it. I would have to see it because my brain just going, I would see some black line right down the middle. It would bug the shit out of me. Like Asus, they came out with this. Well, this is for monitors. They came out with this bezel closer thing where if you get 3 monitors of the same type, you can put these little things right down the corners of it, and it will merge the image into one monitor where you can't see it unless you turn your head to a certain direction. These little strips. And that's what, and like that right there is like how I would figure out how to close a gap like that. But that's the only way I can see it. But of course, that's for monitors, not for freaking 65-inch TVs.
Yeah. And like we just ordered at work 4 65-inch Samsung bezel-less TVs on 3 sides to do this in our training room.
That would be pretty nice.
They're literally sitting at the plant right now.
Mm-hmm.
We're just waiting for our maintenance department to get freed up enough to mount them on the walls. And then me and my boss have talked about how we have to have a meeting up there to make sure they work with, maybe the switch. But
my brain would go like, this is old school. Every time like somebody got a big TV, or back when I was in high school, somebody got really something cool, our first immediate thought was, we gotta have a Halo tournament. Every single time. Like, got a big TV? We gotta have a Halo tournament. You got an Xbox? Bring a TV. Gotta have a Halo tournament. My brain, for some reason, went right back to that when you said we gotta go up there and test it. That was our ways of testing it. Was play Halo on it back in all those schools. Halo 1, Halo 2, just playing that all night.
Can you imagine the size of your Pokeball on that screen? You gotta throw it. It's like,
be like that real Mega Ball that they grab it and they go, yeah.
Yeah, for the Dynamax
Yeah.
ball.
Yeah, the Dynamax ball would be like that, but a regular ball. Like, oh my god, I can sit in it. Oh man, can you imagine a Pokemon chair that's a Pokeball? That you open it up like a Pokeball, and inside of it is a chair. You sit inside of it like a
Uh,
little
you
round
know,
beanie.
you know what I've thought about doing? Just you say this because this is great minds think alike moment right here.
Uh huh.
I've actually thought about sitting there and designing piece by piece the pieces required to print on my printer to put together to make a giant beanie chair Pokeball
Uh huh.
enclosure.
Yeah.
So where the ball is closed, it just looks like a giant Pokeball. And then you open it up and there's a beanie chair in it with a back and a seat to chill in.
Yeah, and this is just find like a little monitor that you can like put inside of it, so you're a little close, like daddy alone time. You're playing on the Switch,
There
sit
you
back
go.
inside of it, little fan, make sure you have a fan blowing air in somewhere.
Yeah.
Ah.
I can hear the questions already. Mommy, have you seen Daddy? Leave him alone. He's in his Pokeball.
Husband, I choose you.
Yeah,
Get
yeah,
out.
that's get down.
Your turn to tear the kids. My turn to get in.
Return, Stealthy.
Ah.
Yeah,
I choose cook food. Had the little ball in front of it, push it, and it lights up. Doo-doo, doo-doo.
have you a light inside that flashes when they hit
Yeah.
it so you know someone's trying to get a hold of you?
Because
Oh,
you don't hear the
God,
banging on that side.
the amount of nerd that just spilled out in this podcast.
We are
Oh,
dorks.
God.
What do we expect here, man?
Yeah, man,
I
I
want to
know.
make a Blastoise computer case someday out of 3D prints if I can, get that
Oh,
going.
man,
Like
that would be awesome.
that's my whole idea. Like I wanted to be able to open it up like a normal like a tortoise shell. Guess how you open up a tortoise shell? You don't open them up; they'll kill them. But anyways, like open up like a little latch, and inside of it is the computer parts, like its organs. Have it water cooled, rubber tool, water cooled, of course, because you can't very much open something else and the tube be solid, and then it'll snap. So the Blastoise cannons would be the water coolers or the water tanks, and the arm spots where he's tucked in, right? Where he's tucked in and doing his little water spin move is the fans, intake, outtake for the
Right.
radiators. And then the front of it will be just his eyes, so you can see, and the button to press to turn it on. And when you press it on, eyes glow.
That would be freaking awesome.
That's what I want to do someday. And I've always said if that'd be like probably like one of my biggest, like if I ever made it, let's say made it in life, that would probably be that. That would be like my big expense. It'd be like, this is one of a kind, unique to me. I love Blastoise. He's my favorite first gen Pokemon. My first game I got was Pokemon Blue, and I've always loved Blastoise. He's blue. He's a turtle with tanks on his backs. How cool is that? Of course, everybody else likes
Yeah.
Charizard because he's a dragon, even though he's technically not a dragon, but he is when he Mega evolves or wherever X and Y evolves, whatever.
Yeah.
So that's 6 o'clock. It's 6 o'clock. So let's round it up here.
Yep, that's it.
Thank you for all those coming again. Let's go with my usual spiel. I know it's probably for those listening in for the podcast. I hope you're enjoying this. Come check us out on YouTube at Grumpy Beat Gaming. I'll try to post this up as best I can. And of course, thank you for listening to the podcast, those who are listening in through that means. And of course, come check me out on my Twitch channel after I eat. I'm going to eat, then I'm going to go live on my Twitch channel at Grumpy Bear on twitch.tv/Grumpy Bear. Go check me out. I stream every Monday, Wednesday, Fridays, and Saturdays at 6 o'clock Central PST time. Various of games, Fridays and Saturdays are art streams usually. And I'm going ahead and do the shout out for Stealthy for you. Go check out Stealthy, Corvo's wife, at twitch.tv/StealthyFJ. Go check her out. She's been playing a lot of Pokemon Let's Go of lately. She's enjoying that. I see you got your Nintendo Switch now, so now you'll be able to play with her when she's playing. Hope y'all be able to join each other every now and then, and we can see y'all having fun together. And of course, we might be going live on YouTube with this podcast for the next couple weeks. One more time, I'm going to say that for those who do not know, we're probably moving this over to YouTube and streaming it on there and seeing how it goes over there for like 3 or 4 podcasts, I would say, and see how the following goes there, and we can maybe get some more people. I think I have 62 subscribers now on YouTube, so that's good. Thanks for those who are following. Thanks for those who are coming by here, as well for those of Covo's employees or associates. Thank you for watching. Thank you. Hope you're enjoying this as well. Get to know him, more about him, and know me along the way. And of course, my family and my viewers from my channel. Anything when you want to put out there?
Just one more thing, Anime, I see you're in there. Don't forget that tonight is the final drawing for Stealthy's giveaway. Make sure you pay attention.
Go enter that because she is announcing it tonight at 12.
I think it's going to be 12 Eastern is when she's planning to wind up her stream, and that's when she's going to do it.
Okay, there we go. So there that information going on that way. So get those done, and always follows us on Twitter. Him at Ninja Corvo, me at the Grumpy Bear on Twitter, and of course Instagram for me, the Grumpy Bear, YouTube, Grumpy B Gaming, blah blah blah. Let's get it. I hope you have a good day, have a good night, have a good life, and as always, I'll see you next time.